What's up, guys? Teddy Cornwell here. Welcome to the Underdog Talk. Something about the Underdog. Today we have a very special guest. I mean, as you can see, the beast in the fucking flesh. Now I got to pull a picture of this man with a pump. God damn. I mean, ooh. So before we get into this interview, guys, I got to give this man a proper Underdog Talk introduction. Y'all know the deal. Today's guest is a fitness coach, a certified trainer, a man who once said, I keep it 300 like the Romans, a Primeval Labs athlete, introducing your friendly neighborhood gorilla, the hybrid gorilla himself, Mr. Nathan Brooks. What is up, man? How you been? I got me with the flex there. I like it.
Oh,
How you been, brother?
Yeah, man. Well, I'm glad to be on, bro. I'm excited to talk about whatever we're trying to shoot.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, before we get into this interview, I also want to know, I got to know why the hybrid gorilla? I fuck with it. I love the name, but like, was there a meaning behind that?
No, man, people just kept calling me a gorilla. So I'm like, bro, I'll just roll with it. You know?
All right. I mean, hell yeah. It's about how you stand out and, you know, what makes you different. So I love that. And last thing before we get into this interview, I gotta ask, Nathan, have you ever actually looked up Nathan Brooks up on the web? Have you ever typed Nathan Brooks?
Yeah, I have.
And I mean, apparently you have the same name as a serial killer. I don't know if you knew that.
There's a serial killer, there's an archery guy.
Yeah, I was just making sure. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty serious. So anyways, today I want to talk about your fitness journey, Nathan. I mean, I saw your 7-year transformation. And I mean, that video, you went from boy to man. I mean, let's say boy to gorilla.
Yeah.
Now, I'm always curious, was there a specific reason that you started working out?
Yeah, so it started with football. You know, you're trying to be the biggest guy. I was a running back, so it was a cool hybrid. You know, you're trying to get as big as possible, but also athletic. So you're training athletically, a lot of weight training. You always want to be the strongest guy in the weight room. You know, from the get, I was just kind of had the edge. I was always kind of like the stronger kid. So it just grew into a passion of mine, you know, just working out, just trying to see the progress that my body made. You know, from freshman year to senior year of high school, it was kind of leaps and bounds in terms of my progress. So just being able to see that momentum and just rolling in, it built up a lot of passion for weightlifting. And then once I got out of high school, stopped football, you know, that stayed a constant. I'm the type of person where I need competition in my life. So just being able to compete with myself through fitness is really something that I enjoy.
Hell yeah. I mean, someone said, damn, bro's looking juicy. I mean, yeah, he is. Someone else commented, waited all day for this. I mean, man, me too. I mean, this is going to be a fun one. Now, Nathan, do you remember the exact day when you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna change my life around. I'm gonna really just get into my fitness journey. I'm gonna start rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I think it's always a challenge for a lot of people, what they want to do with their life, you know, what their passions are, what direction they want to shoot towards. For me, you know, it was always football. So, you know, obviously I'm not going to be an NFL athlete. So that's just a dream that kind of died out just throughout time. So like I said, something that remained a constant was just fitness for me. So being able to figure out an avenue for that, for my career, when I realized that there was actually a potential in that, you know, I moved down to San Diego. I met a bunch of cats that they're really big into fitness, and that's their careers, you know, they're fitness influencers. So when I saw that and I saw what they're able to achieve, I realized that that's something that I can do too. So it kind of built the fire for me to pursue it.
And Nathan, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, obviously you moved down there, you started getting into the fitness influence industry. And I really do want to say, I think you are definitely one of the up and coming names out there in the fitness industry. I followed your journey for a while. I've seen you grow. I've seen you become a sponsored athlete. I've seen you, become another sponsored athlete or work with Cyclops supplements. So I've definitely seen a lot of steps. Obviously, with Niall, you're good friends with him, and that's definitely another way that you're getting your name out there. So you really, truly are becoming a hot name in the industry. Now, I think one of the best things about the Underdog Talk is the advice that the guests give. Now that you are a fitness influencer, what was the biggest thing you learned about yourself in, I don't even want to say the 7-year transformation. I want to say just overall, including where you are now? And then to add on to that, for someone who's just starting their fitness journey, what would one tip be for them?
Yeah, man. So, I think in terms of fitness, there's a polarity for fitness. Same thing with everything else, like you got the extreme. People always want to shoot for the extreme. So I'd say to start, just start in moderation, just take
Yeah.
it one step at a time. Looking at people who have been working out for 20 years or taking PEDs and comparing yourself to them, it can be a turnoff for a lot of people. So, just taking it one day at a time. At the end of the day, you're really just challenging yourself. So just being better for yourself, seeing the improvements based on where you were to where you're at. That's the biggest thing. At the end of the day, with fitness, it's a lifestyle. It's a healthy choice for you to make. So if you're going to the extremes, you're blasting everything under the sun. You just started lifting. You're taking crazy dirty bulks. You're taking 4,000 calories, getting a bunch of weight, seeing the scale move, but the fat's just going up, not much muscle. It's like, that's not necessarily a step that you want to take. So, just trying to take it step by step, and then through the process, you gain passion for it too. So, it's like that for anything. It's just building that momentum. When you first start, it's hard. And when you start seeing the progress, you start seeing the change, you start building confidence in yourself, and you start really enjoying the process.
And I think that's just exactly what I would tell someone too. It's you love the process, you trust the process. A viewer just chimed in. How much protein do you consume in a day? So, I mean, Nathan, how much protein do you consume in a day?
Yeah, so I try to stick to a gram per pound of lean body mass.
Hell
So
yeah.
215. I try to shoot for about 215 to 220 grams of protein a day. That's the ideal way to do it. You got like the FDA guidelines, which is just absurd. It says like 0.25 grams per pound. It's so that's what you'd be taking if you're just day-to-day Joe Schmo, you're not working out. But yeah, gram per pound of lean body mass is the way to go.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. Now, I want to talk about something you actually just mentioned about comparing ourselves to influencers. And I think while there's positives to it, I think there's a lot of negatives. And now you actually said Insta is the best version of yourself. So I do want to kind of look into that. So how do you think Instagram and social media together has been both negative and positive for the fitness community?
Yeah, so I mean, with Instagram, it's especially as like a quote unquote influencer, it's to play because people don't realize that the way it works is you're basically at the mercy of the algorithm, so it changes all the time. For humans, I mean, there's a lot of impact that makes for you because we're connected socially. So when you see the numbers drop, it affects your mental a lot. So from an influencer side, I think the hardest thing is just the mental side of it. Just being able to stay strong, be disconnected through Instagram, but also connected. Obviously you're shooting out the best stuff, the best content you can, because at the end of the day, like, you want to refine what you have and what you put out. It's not just day to day, whatever you're going to do, because that doesn't really jump out or stand out. So, I'd say that the biggest thing is just realizing how to be disconnected, but also connected with Instagram, because it's a tool at the end of the day.
And I think that's so true. I mean, I've been pretty open about it. It's unfortunate, but for me, I've got so involved in social media. There's days where I'm like, okay, I had a great interview and it got so many views, or my post got so many likes. And it makes me, it's like a euphoria. I feel good. And then there's days where I'm like, I have a post, it gets shitty likes, and I feel like, absolute shit. And it really is important for everyone to realize at the end of the day, this is all about you. At the end of the day, yes, maybe hundreds to thousands of people are viewing your content, but at the end of the day, it's a self journey, it's a self growth. So I think people, especially in the fitness and even social medias in general, need to just kind of take a step back, because the negative effects can be so overwhelming. So just like you said, look more of the broader picture, take a step back, live in the reality. So Nathan, I think you hit that again on, because so many people need to hear that at the end of the day. And it's a unfortunate thing that it's not in school. We don't get taught about social media. Yeah. And I think that's something that should be taught. I mean, as you mentioned, we are going into an age where there is more social media. It is now affecting our lives. So I appreciate you being honest about it, because people don't see the side, I guess, from people don't, as viewers, they don't see the side as someone like a social media or fitness influencer go through. So I definitely agree on that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to get back into your fitness, Nathan. So actually, I found this really interesting. So in 2019, you weighed in about 190. Going into this year, you were up 30 pounds. Now, obviously, that 30 pounds was mainly muscle.
Mhm.
So for you, Nathan, what changed in terms of what did you start doing differently in your training?
Yeah, so in terms of the training, the consistency went up. Obviously, my knowledge from training went up as well. I'm not gonna lie and jump. I'm very, very transparent. I also hopped on PEDs,
Yeah.
so the jump starter to that was my first cycle. So, hopped on my first cycle. Did a ton of research beforehand. Something that I just kind of fell into. Want to make sure I did it right. And
100%.
I went from 190 to 215 on that first cycle. So, from there I was like, holy shit, like this is kind of crazy. But at the same time, I wasn't trying to really just mess my body up. So
Yeah.
just being able to find that balance of moderation through all that stuff, because it's a tightrope doing this whole. So there's an easy way to fuck it up. There's a bad way. I was really trying to just do it right. So got up to 215. I'm like, man, this is crazy, bro. Obviously this works, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it right. So that was a big catalyst for it, obviously. Nutrition as well. Just being able to realize like, okay, I really need to count my macros and count my calories. Take this as my job, because at the end of the day, like now it is. This is my job. So just treating it like a science with everything. So with PED, with nutrition, with training, treating it like a science. What's the most optimal way to do everything, and then just putting into practice.
Hell yeah. And I mean, I definitely watched your videos with Niall, and I don't want to speak for you guys, but it seems like you guys are very transparent, and B, you guys are very intelligent about what you are putting into your body. It's not okay, we're just going to try this. It seems like you guys have a great amount of research, a great amount of okay, maybe advice from other people into doing these performance enhancing drugs. And at the end of the day, I think a big thing is people think, all right, if he's taking a performance enhancing drug, he's not working his ass off. And at the end of the day, you're not going to get results if you just take a performance enhancing drug and you're not working your ass off. I mean, it might be slight, but you got to be working your ass off still. And I think it takes away from the work ethic and how much hard work goes into actually lifting if you're on performance enhancing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I think that's a big barrier of why people are transparent about it, because it does tend to discredit what they're doing. But when you're really in it and you're into the whole lifestyle of it, and people that also are, you realize that like you said, you have to put in the work. There's no way around it. It's not like you can put in 50% of work and you get twice the results. You're putting twice the work in, then you get twice the results. But it raises the ceiling for a lot of people. But I think it really just comes down to awareness of exactly what these drugs do. And, that's what me and Niall are trying to do, is try to show people just really like what you would expect, because, a lot of it is real science. It's starting to change, with like more plate sport dates. That a couple other people, like, they're able to provide transparency through this, because it's been taboo for such a long time. So people don't know what it does. They don't know how it affects their body. They don't know exactly what they'll see when they take it. So being able to see all those things and realize, like, realistically what it's going to do is just really important.
And I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, Nathan, it's your own choice. Everyone else's opinion does not matter at the end of the day. But I do truly appreciate how open you are, because my thing is I do call out fake natties, and I've had a good amount of responses. But the thing is, I call them out because not only is it messing up the fitness industry, I think little kids are not little kids, but people going into this industry are looking at these guys and are like, I can never be like them. And at the end of the day, you can be your best self. You can be who you want to be. You don't necessarily need to compare yourself. And so hats off to you, Nathan, for being so open about that. Now, speaking of your physique, obviously your physique's incredible. I actually saw you wanted to compete in your first show at the end of the year. Is this your first show that you were going to compete in, or have you competed before?
Yeah, I never competed. So it was kind of a loose goal that I'm setting for myself, just seeing what happens. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that I want to do. Going back to the competitiveness, it's just being able to have a competitive atmosphere to put myself in, just important for me personally. So, it just ties in with fitness, just making sure that everything that I'm doing is kind of homogenous, so it all feeds into itself. Speaking from sponsorships to what I'm doing competitive wise, if I were to compete, it just all feeds into itself. So it's a good goal to set for me. And we'll see what happens, man. I gotta fix the posing, man. I don't know how to pose for anything. So that's really the biggest.
Hey, I'm doing my first show on July 17th, and
Let's go.
thank God, I've never done some of these poses in my life, and I'm feeling like an idiot. And honestly, the scary part is how much I feel like that when I come out of there, I'm just dead. Like it's like I did like 2 hours of cardio. I mean, the strain and the tension I'm doing. And now, Nathan, speaking of cardio, if you're gonna do a bodybuilding competition, you're gonna have to do cardio. I know you admitted cardio is one of your flaws.
Yeah.
But all jokes aside, I mean, I saw that you actually do 6 days of cardio a week. So now everyone has different takes on cardio, how much should be done a week. Some people are scared if they do too much cardio, they'll lose muscle. Now, me personally, my coach has me doing 6 days of cardio a week, just like you. So let me ask, why do you think cardio is so important? And have you always done 6 days of cardio a week?
Yeah, man. So, with cardio, obviously it's good for a cut because, calories. But, really what the benefits are is more so just health wise. So, it helps with cardiovascular metrics. Your blood pressure goes down. Your heart becomes more efficient, especially when you're on cycle. Your blood pressure tends to just go up a ton. So it's really important to be able to do those just to manage those proctors. And then beyond that too, man, I mean, just the mental side of it, just be able to, once you get into it, you realize, if you get a good cardio session in, you feel great. Like you just feel good, and if it's a nighttime workout, you go to sleep easier. You're less stressed. It's a really good thing to do. So yeah, man, I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is just like the mental side of it. And then obviously just managing my blood pressure. But for a cut, it's also really important to be able to do some cardio.
And I mean, I was at five cardio or five cardio sessions. I was going to skip today and just say, fuck it, coach. I did 6, but Nathan, I'm going to go after this because I do have to get my 6 in. So you got me motivated for that, brother. Now I finally want to talk about something, I want to end this interview talking about something that you definitely support. You're open about. And I to be honest, I want to know more about it. I want to know about the hormone replacement therapy. I know you have a link on your Instagram that takes us to Transcend HRT. If I want to say that was the one. So do you work for Transcend HRT?
No, I don't work for them. I'm sponsored by them. So
Gotcha.
Yeah. But Transcend, HRT is just it's a new and up and coming industry. A lot of science is being put into it now. If you go to a doctor for testosterone replacement therapy, let's say you're 45, your testosterone's at like 300 nanograms per deciliter, which is awful. Just based on lifestyle, diet, just a lot of environmental factors. A lot of people are on those levels. If you go to a doctor, just any old doctor, and you try to get your testosterone prescribed, their protocols are really outdated. So, they'll tell you to inject like once every 2 weeks, once a week, which is horrible because of the half-life of the testosterone. There's just a lot of variables that go into it. If you go to the private sector, so an HRT company, there's competition between these companies. So there's an incentive for them to actually provide quality information and then quality peptides and HRT testosterone as well. So, as opposed to just a normal cycle, what HRT is, it's more like lifestyle optimization. So they take your blood work, they see what you're deficient in, and they have things to prescribe to get you into the normal ranges for all those. So, I do online coaching. I have a lot of clients that are, older, so 30, 40. If they fall into the category of, I feel low energy, I'm not really getting enough out of my workouts, I'd be like, hey man, take a blood test, go to Transcend, see what's up. And, if they do find you're deficient in something, they can help you out. So a lot of people have seen a lot of benefits from them. So, I'm really glad to be sponsored by them because they're doing some good stuff.
Hell yeah. And I mean, I think my final question is, are you and I don't know this, are you considered natural if you take HRT?
Man, that's a gray area, So it's just one of those things where people on tier T and they say they're natural, but you are supplementing with exogenous testosterone, so you wouldn't really be considered natural even if you are natural levels. What people don't understand too is when you're on tier T, even if you are on natural levels, your testosterone doesn't alternate like it would if you were on natural levels. So let's say you got a terrible night's sleep, you didn't get any sleep, you're on a cut, you trained really heavy the day before, your testosterone potentially could be like 40% decrease just from those things alone. So you're seeing a huge performance hit throughout the days that you're doing these things to yourself. If you're on tier T, you can have all those things: terrible sleep, terrible diet, hard workout before, you're stressed out. Your testosterone is the same because you're supplementing it exogenously. So they're not seeing that hit. I wouldn't consider it natural just for those factors alone, but it's one of those gray areas where people will claim that it is natural, but yeah.
I mean, some people think you're not natural if you take protein powder. So I mean, it really is it is a gray area, and people always ask me what do you think is someone is not natural if they're not natural. And I think the big thing for me is if it's a banned substance for athletes and it's on WADA, I think those are really the big qualifications I look for. Obviously, I'm not a scientist, so I can't say, well, this is going to alter this or alter this. But I think that is a great, finish to this interview. And Nathan, I know you're a busy guy, but are you game for some rapid questions before I get you out of here?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure.
Fuck yeah. All right. If you had to pick one for, let's say, a year at your workout, ape shit alpha or ape shit pump?
Man, I'm a caffeine junkie, so I mean, I need my caffeine, so I would have to pick alpha.
And I mean, I guess that's a good answer because I'm sure in ape shit alpha there's some kind of pump in there, so that's a good answer.
Pump too, and it stems me up, so it just gets me wired, it gets me going, so I need that when I'm working out.
Fuck yeah,
absolutely.
Leg day or arm day?
Oh man, I love arm day, but I need leg day.
All right.
All right. Leg day.
I fucking love that answer. Go to a festival with Niall or get a lift in with Niall.
Festival.
Fuck yeah.
Those festivals are unreal, man.
I mean, you're getting your cardio in because Niall seems to act like that's a crazy source of cardio. So I mean, you're getting cardio in there. So I guess that is a good answer.
Nah, it is, man.
Favorite Primeval Labs product?
Man, I gotta go to the Ape Shit Alpha. I really like that stuff.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Going. It's a good high stem, and it does have pump products in it. So in terms of the pre-workout, I do see like an increase in my workout when I'm doing this.
You get that pump in. Yeah. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a big one. Last question. Pull-ups or chin-ups?
Dude, I'm going pull-ups, man.
That's the right chin-ups answer.
Chin-ups for me, I'm engaging my arms too much. So I got an issue. I got to engage my back by any means necessary. It's hard for me to engage it. So, pull-ups is the way to go, dude. Chin-ups, my arms are burning.
Yeah. I love that answer. You see, that's the best. That's the right answer. But when I had D-Trent on a few days ago, he said neutral grips. And I go, damn, this motherfucker really thinking outside the box. Yeah. He's got me he's getting creative over here. But
that's a good answer.
It was. Nathan, it's been an honor and privilege. I mean, before we go, is there anything you want to plug?
No, man, nothing I want to plug.
Well, I want to plug some stuff for you. Code, I'm going to say it, Monke. It's MONKE on Primeval Labs. Yeah, I guess it was a short for monkey. But definitely run that code up. TikTok and Instagram, or TikTok is Nathan Brooks. Instagram, Nathan Brooks 1. Follow my guy there. He has coaching. Definitely sign up for that if you want a coach that knows his stuff. Obviously, the Transcend HRT. Run that up if you obviously talk to Nathan first. But I mean, this is the man himself. Check him out. Run his codes up. And I mean, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out Nathan's contents. Run up his codes, as I said. I mean, we have some big guests coming up on the Underdog Talk soon. If you guys saw my story on TMC Strong. Until next time, guys, Underdog out.
Killer.